what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
We'll try not to too much talk over each other, but again, we are girls and we are
agree to disagree.
Okay,
Moving on.
well, the makeup bottle. It's like a cracked out T-bird from Greece.
Yeah,
She's got that black hair.
Hey everybody, welcome back to ChickChat. It is our Thanksgiving edition. Hey, happy Thanksgiving.
Yay.
Yeah, Thanksgiving, even though we have a lot of listeners outside the United States. But you know what? We are thankful for you.
Then happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday in November to you. Doesn't quite matter, I guess, but we are going to take the chance to tell everyone what we are thankful for in the ChickChat world.
Okay.
It's not just, everybody's thankful for their friends and their family and a roof over their head, that type of stuff. We get that. No slack to that. However, today we're going to talk about the ChickChat version of what you were thankful for.
Okay.
So, as you know, you were listening to ChickChat here on The Mesh. Hopefully you have found us on iTunes and have subscribed and liked us and followed. Or maybe you just stumbled upon us on the internet. We are also on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter. You can find us everywhere under themesh.tv. I am Mary-Margaret and I'm here with Janette.
Good morning.
Hello. It is Monday morning,
Yeah.
the 20th. Yeah, that's what we're doing. So this is kind of outside of our normal way of doing
It
things.
is. We kind of do later in the week.
We've
and
never really done a
afternoon.
morning show, but look at us both with our
Look at
coffee
us. We
sitting
are.
here. Yeah.
This should be interesting.
I know.
We might start a new thing.
Who knows what happens on Monday mornings? So it is Monday morning, the 20th, which is the this year, an early Thanksgiving, right? Because sometimes Thanksgiving falls in that last week of November.
True, yeah.
Just depending on where the calendar falls. But this year it is this Thursday.
Yes.
And as we were talking a little beforehand, neither one of us are exactly prepared.
Not at all.
We were discussing where you could pick up pre-made Thanksgiving dinners. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter. We are both looking forward to a little time to rest and enjoy our family and maybe listen to some podcasts. Who knows?
Definitely listen to at least ChickChat.
Absolutely. I always try. Is it weird that we re-listen to ourselves or?
No.
I don't think so. Maybe a little weird,
Listen
but I
to
don't
how
care.
good we sound. Listen.
I know. Then I go back and I make notes like, gosh, Mary-Margaret, why'd you say that? That was
Right.
dumb.
Your voice sounds weird. Try to deepen it.
try to pick up your voice tone a little bit. No, I'm okay. It's all right. I've got a little sheet here of notes of things that I'm thankful for that I thought we could just kind of go through. And some are a little harder to talk about than others, and some are super fun to talk about.
Are we getting deep again? We got deep the last time.
But you know what? A lot has happened since last time. Okay, so at the beginning of the show, last episode, I'm so glad you remembered that we did this. The last show, we brought up the Harvey Weinstein stuff. It was a big deal. It still is a big deal.
Yeah.
It is, we won't even go into all the people that called him out on this, but he's essentially just ruined now. Good riddance. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But since then, some other stuff has come out, and they have been people are not scared right now. People are like, this is the time. I'm going to tell you everything that happened. And I'm going to be honest, there's that part of me that every once in a while is like, okay, is everybody telling the truth, or is everybody using this time to maybe get their 15 minutes of fame because they know that it's accepted right now? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shame on them if they're not telling the truth, obviously.
Yes.
But there have been some recent incidents that have come out, and people have said, yeah, it's true. Louis C.K. actually said, yep, I did that. My bad.
Yeah.
Basically said that. But one that I was going to say that I was thankful for somebody today, I am thankful for Anthony Rapp. Okay? Familiar with Anthony Rapp?
Is that the Kevin Spacey?
He is.
The guy from Rent.
Correct. Okay. I'm thankful for Anthony Rapp just in a lot of ways. One, because he was in Rent.
And was amazing.
Yes. Love him. He is the original.
Yeah.
He's got to be, he's the guy. He's the first one on Broadway, but he's also in the movie. Love him, right?
Yes.
He's the Mark that I associate every time I hear one of those songs.
Yeah.
Love him. But he was also in School Ties. Whenever, I don't know if you saw that movie or
I
not.
did, but I didn't realize he was
Brendan
in that.
Fraser and all this stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's in School Ties, which I loved as well. And of course, he's been in Adventures in Babysitting. He was the bratty friend, stray dog, as my kids call it.
That's him?
Yes. Okay, so I love Anthony Rapp.
Okay.
For him to come out and say this about Kevin Spacey when saying Anthony Rapp was 14 years old when this incident happened where Kevin Spacey tried to take advances on him and, at a party when they were, obviously this was ages ago, when he was younger. But since then, the floodgate has been opened about Kevin Spacey, if you will. Mm-hmm. So what's your thoughts on this in the sense that Harvey Weinstein is somebody that everybody knew, but he was behind the scenes. He was the producer, director, everything like this. But Kevin Spacey's on camera. Kevin Spacey's in our face. I'm just going to put this out there. I love Kevin Spacey. I have loved him for a long time of all his stuff. But now I feel a little icky watching him. Yeah. What's your thoughts on House of Cards, since that is out there in front of everybody right now? We've heard some talk that it is going to be done. It is done, which they were wrapping anyway, but they were basically talking about not even letting them finish that. What's your thoughts on how all that plays out with somebody who is in the public eye right away?
That's a tough one. I agree. I understand why they're pulling it. I have no issues with them pulling it.
Right.
But I don't know. I think it's kind of also, it's a punishment of him, but then it's also like, it's almost like, is there another way around it?
Agreed.
Can they do something with the production? I know, I'm not saying it's cheap to do. I understand it costs probably millions to do something post-production just to remove him from scenes or even to reshoot. I get that. At the same time, House of Cards is more than Kevin Spacey.
Correct. Hundreds of people work on that show.
Hundreds of people works on that show. If not, I don't know. The set locations, even the local people who benefit from it that maybe not work directly, but they hotels and coffee shops and things like that. People who cater. So I feel bad for everyone gets punished for the actions of one. Yeah. Including fans. Who in Netflix, who stands to lose on money. And kudos for them for saying this is bigger than the money that we would have made for this. But at the same time...
It's a double-edged sword,
It is. It's kind of one of those... I agree with not... not to... And you can kind of compare it, I guess, but it's kind of like The Cosby Show where, Bill Cosby was accused and all of a sudden, well, we're not going to show The Cosby Show anymore. Okay, but he doesn't just lose checks from that. Yeah. There's...
A lot of people.
A huge cast.
He had lots of kids on that show.
He did. Yeah. Who lose money from that. Yeah. Who depend on those checks to feed their family because they're not Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
They do not have Bill Cosby money. They're not Felicia Rashad and have Felicia Rashad money.
Well, they actually are redoing a movie that Kevin Spacey was supposed to be in. And, that was the biggest hit on the Google searches recently or something I read last week was when they announced that they were redoing this movie and that Kevin Spacey was not going to play this part anymore, that they were going to replace him, I believe, with Christopher Plummer, if I'm right. But nonetheless, that doesn't matter. But yeah, they were in final stages. Like they're getting ready to release the movie. It's not like it's been in editing, this is the final editing stage, which can take up to a year. It's getting ready to come out. Mm-hmm. And they're cutting him out. And putting this other guy in. And the director and producers, whomever was in charge of making this decision, essentially said, sorry, we don't care. Mm-hmm. We'll spend that money on this. Because I think they understand that for every dollar they're having to put into changing that, they're actually probably going to recoup it because people will now come and see this movie. They were worried about people not coming to see the movie because Kevin Spacey was in it. Ouch. They're taking a big old hit on this, but I guess they had to assume, we don't want to be tied to it. We don't want to be the people that have Kevin Spacey in our movies, especially right after. They would be the first, So It's I just feel like it's gonna be a long time before we see Kevin Spacey's face doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know, it's a strange time because, again, none of this is okay. I believe all the women and men who have come forward. But, you know, Roman Polanski still makes work. There's
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen married his stepdaughter.
They're getting awards still.
Right.
And that stuff's been, I mean, unfortunately, like I said, it's super unfortunate because I hate all of this.
Right.
But this is definitely not the first time we've heard this. You know, I do want to address that. I think that the reason that Kevin Spacey became a hot topic, if you will, and this is a personal belief, obviously, he, after Anthony Rapp accused him of this and announced that this is what happened, Kevin Spacey sent back an apology, essentially, stating, you know, that if this had happened, he was so sorry. He didn't remember. He didn't know. But, oh, my gosh, I'm so sorry. P.S. I'm gay.
Yeah.
And he came out of the closet, essentially, to say at the end of this letter, I've always gone both ways, basically, and now I'm choosing to live my life as a gay man and blah, blah, blah. Way stupid move, in my opinion. I cannot... I lost a whole lot of respect for him and, you know, anybody that would do it this way. I could not believe he chose that time to say something about this is what I'm gay. That has absolutely nothing to do with the Price of Rice and China, what you are talking about right now.
It wasn't okay because you were gay. Because it had nothing to do with gay men don't just go around doing this.
Exactly. You know, and P.S. Kevin Spacey, we all knew already. Okay, so thanks for the insight, but we already knew.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I've assumed this for years, and don't care. First of all, but second of all, like you said, this has nothing to do with the gay man. I actually saw a tweet that after all of this came out, you know, and people were just fired up about his response. A guy said something about, on his tweet, and it's not verbatim, but he said something like, as a gay man, I've always accepted Kevin Spacey. He's like, and now as a gay man, you know, you're not welcome.
Right.
And it was one of these things like, you know, the gay community knew you were there. Like they accepted you already and they were fine with it. But don't go pinning this on
that.
Being gay. Exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear.
Yeah, this did not happen because you are gay. This happened because
you're slimy.
You felt you had some power and you exerted that power in the wrong, inappropriate way.
Absolutely. Doesn't matter, boy, girl, anything. Does not matter.
No.
It was wrong.
Okay.
So, you know, we're not going to talk about that much more, but I'm thankful for Anthony Rapp for stepping up and saying something. And, you know, especially, you know, granted, it's not wrong either way. You know, in my beliefs, I'm totally accepting of everything, but in the simple fact that he was one of the first male accusers, if you will, going into another male, you know, and Kevin Spacey's a big name. Yeah. You tacked out. You know, great. Good for you. But to all the people out there speaking their mind and actually getting this off their chest, you know, I hope that this is some relief for them and that they are getting a little retribution, I guess, for some stuff they've kind of dealt with.
I mean, I know we touched on it last time, but I still don't understand the way that Corey Feldman is being treated.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I saw an interview with him on NBC and I feel like, yes, he's eccentric. Absolutely. He's definitely not an A-lister anymore. Probably not even B, maybe C or D. And that's fine. He's
a child actor.
But people know who he is.
Absolutely.
I mean, Goonies or The Lost Boys is always on some rotation on TV, on some cable channel. Yes. But I do feel like because of who he is, and yes, maybe the people he's naming were big players in the 80s, doesn't make it any less wrong.
Right.
I mean, and for the way he's interviewed is so hostile to me. And yes, he came out years ago. And yes, Anthony Rapp, absolutely. Naming big names, but it shouldn't have to come to that.
Agreed.
Abuse is abuse. It doesn't matter if it's being done by a manager that nobody knows or a big time producer or a major league or an A-list actor. It happened to him. I believe it happened to him.
And if we think about it, Corey has been claiming this for a really long time.
And I guess I just don't
all of this stuff,
Yeah, I just don't understand the hostility towards you questioning him, but then everybody else comes on with their accusing stories, and they're like, oh, it's like kid gloves and this, and they should be. I'm not saying they shouldn't be, but why such hostility between?
I don't know if it's the simple fact that he has been saying this for so long, yet has never named anybody.
He's naming him on Dr. Oz now.
And now he is now, of course. But for a long time, he didn't.
Right.
And it was almost like he was crying wolf. I've got all these people, all this stuff happened to us. And here's what this happened. This is why I'm this way. Here's what this is. And he never said anything. Mm-hmm. So I don't know and now that all these other things are coming out and people are coming out, now he's like, oh, y'all remember I've been talking about this for a long time?
Now everybody wants to pay attention to it.
Exactly. Yeah. Now you want to. And I think people maybe, are, like you said, he is eccentric. He's a little out there sometimes, but it doesn't change the fact that he was a major player in the Hollywood scene for a long time. And some of the names he's naming, it's obvious. Like
you have to IMDb them or WikiLeaks search them, or not WikiLeaks, but Wikipedia search them to be like.
But I mean, they were appropriate to him,
right?
And again, the role that they played in his life
doesn't make it any less.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's all wrong. It doesn't matter.
Wrong and
but I just really hate watching the way. And, he had, everyone's like, well, it's Dr. Oz. But, I mean, maybe that's the only one who would be like, you know what? I saw how you were treated on The View, how you were treated on the Today Show. Mm-hmm. Come here. I will give you the forum you need, and I will not be, I mean, how dare you? Yeah. I mean, it's, whether you believe him or not, it's his truth.
Absolutely.
And if he's lying, then that'll be exposed. But, I kind of get the sense that he's probably not.
I was about to say, considering he's been saying it for how long now?
Right.
I mean, why should we not believe it of anybody? I kind of feel like he's the one you believe the most because he's been saying this stuff for a long time, and, it was like a lot of these people, Courtney Love and who's the guy that does the voice on Family Guy?
Oh, Seth MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane. They made cracks about Harvey Weinstein like years ago at award shows and stuff like that, and people were playing it back. And Seth's like, there was only so much I could say without actually being like, you guys aren't listening. Harvey Weinstein's slime.
Yeah.
But he was making these comments back there trying to be discreet about it. And then with that letter that I read last time, remember, and the guy said that it was a silent knowledge or something like that. Everybody knew. Mm-hmm. It's so disheartening. Like now you think about it and I saw the other day a letter that came from a staffer on One Tree Hill, the show that was filmed here in North Carolina.
Right.
She was like a crew member and she had this horrible experience with one of the directors, producers, they switch them out because of a TV show on it. They have multiple ones, whichever one it was, and I'm sorry I can't remember. But she had a letter signed and written by the major co-stars in the show, the people that played the main characters, and they wrote and they were like, we're sorry that we're just now saying something, but this was going on and it's horrible and we fully support this girl that is coming out now. So it's not even just the actors and actresses. It is the crew members, but again, just like we talked about, there are people that are trying to get their foot in the door and sometimes it's not always in front of the camera that you're trying to get your foot in the door. It's a hard business.
Yeah.
So when they get a job as an assistant, they take it.
Right.
And they get treated, unfortunately, however they wanted to by these people so that they could keep their job.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Hollywood is a small community. If you tick off one person, the likelihood that you'll never work in the industry, or if you're known as someone who talks, someone who's not submissive, and you just
exactly,
they're hard. They're hard to work with people. Those are the ones that you see slowly fade out, if not quickly fade out, because they're troublemakers. If
they ever make it at all,
right? Like they're the troublemakers. They're the ones that are going to say something if something happens. So just keep a close eye on them or just don't work with them.
That's right.
And that's how people get pushed out. I mean,
it's a shame. Yeah. It really is, all this stuff that's going on. But I mean, it really is. It seems like something every day that comes out. Somebody new, some new names getting dropped, whatever. But, it is what it is. They made their bed. Now they got to lie in it. And, some people are speaking up and, and I do hope that something good comes out of this. Some positive comes in the background of people just knowing that this is just not acceptable now. So hopefully that's what we'll deal with on another episode is that, oh my gosh, like things are really changing. That would be amazing.
Yes.
I got a lighter subject now.
Okay, good.
But it is a little twisted the way I'm going to say it, okay? I am thankful for People magazine. Okay?
Okay.
As we should be, right? Like, I mean...
Who doesn't love People?
How can you not? There's a crossword in the back. It's one that I can do.
There's recipes and books. You can...
Yes. They're
they
who wore it best.
Right.
There's outfits.
Book and album recommendations.
Right?
Yes.
TV, recaps telling you what show you should watch. I love People magazine. I am always thankful every year that they do the Sexiest Man Alive.
Well, who wouldn't be?
Right.
That's like our Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition, right?
It is. Okay. It's the female version of Sports Illustrated. But this year... I'm a little.
No, don't say it.
Okay, we'll just put it out there. This year's Sexiest Man Alive was voted on and announced this past week as Blake Shelton.
Okay, I'm good with it. I'm fine.
You're good with that?
I'm fine. Blake's a cutie. Look,
is he the sexiest man
liked
alive?
Blake, mullet Blake, okay? I mean...
Oh, Red Blake? You like that one?
Yeah. This straight out of Oklahoma boy? Yeah.
Now,
okay, let me just preface by saying it's his personality, I think, that draws me in. He's cute. He's not like Brad Pitt gorgeous.
Right.
But he's cute.
Is this the cutest man alive?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. He is.
But I don't think that's the topic of their issue.
But what makes sexy? Sexy to one is so different. Like, I would love hanging out with him. I think humor and making me laugh, that's sexy. Like, if you're cute and you can make me laugh and you're sweet, and Gwen says he's sweet. He writes songs about her. I mean, come
Gwen
on.
says it.
That's sexy.
Okay.
If you're writing a song about me, I'm all in. You name the babies, I name the dog. I mean, come on.
Now, I probably could not name one Blake Shelton song.
Come on, Mary-Margaret.
I'm pretty sure I can't.
I'm from Ohio. You're from North Carolina. You should be able to name at least one.
There's not many country songs I can name.
I love
unless they happened prior to 1985, probably. Okay, I can do some old country ones.
You're like, okay, old school country.
I'm Prime Country on XM Radio. I listen to Prime Country.
Not the highway.
No. It's even pushing to go to Garth
Channel.
Do
you go to the Garth Channel? No?
Sometimes only because, but then he throws in like, he's playing Lady Gaga and stuff on there. And I'm like, wait a minute, Garth.
That's what he likes.
Yeah, I'm like, hold up, Garth. But I do like Prime Country.
Okay.
And Blake Shelton just doesn't fit in that just yet for me. And so I can't really name a song that he sings. I have seen him on The Voice. He is funny. Mm-hmm. I think he's charming.
Yeah.
In a sense that he's kind of funny, goofy. But I don't know that he's the sexiest man alive. And I saw this fantastic response to it as well.
Are people that upset about it?
No, I don't think people are upset. I think people find it almost humorous that he was selected as this. So, I mean, it's not like anybody's bashing him. Okay. Nobody's like, no, people, I'm so ticked off. Like, nobody's like that.
Okay.
Everybody's kind of just making a joke about it, though, because I did see an amazing post on Facebook, which was a gallery of photos of inanimate objects that are sexier than Blake Shelton.
Oh.
And it's like,
why don't we just ask Gwen Stefani how
it's like a hard-boiled egg, and different things. Yeah,
that's a little harsh. I mean, I haven't always agreed on the sexiest man alive, but I mean, it's so typical to put Brad Pitt on there, or George Clooney, or Ben Affleck, or Matthew McConaughey. I mean, how many times have they been the sexiest man alive? I mean, yeah, we get it. They're sexy. They're hot. That's not changing. I mean, I would vote for Matthew McConaughey every year, but I don't get a vote. I would put...
Why don't we get a vote?
But they don't ask me.
I think that's a whole new topic. Why don't we get a vote?
You know what I'm saying? Like Benjamin Bratt, every other year I just switch the two out. Like...
Fair.
I mean...
Fair.
Chris Pine was named sexiest man alive. No one, wasn't he named Sexiest Man Alive like last year?
He should be.
I think he was
he's
at least
amazing.
a year or two ago.
Yeah. Chris
no
Pine's
one's saying thing.
Fantastic.
I mean, he's cute. He wasn't. I mean, Chris Pine from Parks and Rec, not sexy, but Chris Pine from Guardians of the Galaxy and all those other movies. Sure, I get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sexy is just so subjective. I'm good with it. Change it up a little bit.
I mean,
and when's the last time someone from the country music scene was put on there?
Well, let's see. The Rock was there a couple years ago.
The Rock could be there. Denzel could be there. I mean, but look, honestly, that's expected.
JFK Jr. was on there before.
Okay,
and
see, I think
Adam Levine, I'm sure.
Yeah, but see, I think before it was mostly surface sexiness. Like, oh, they're so attractive. Yes,
like Patrick Swayze.
I mean, yeah, Denzel is attractive.
David Beckham,
attractive.
I mean, yeah.
Blake Shelton is not unattractive. He's very cute. But if you had a lineup of all the sexiest men alive and then put Blake Shelton there,
see, Blake Shelton himself has said, if y'all want to call me that, then cool. He says, I'm going to ride it for a good year.
Ride it, Blake. Mm-hmm. Gwen Stefani says, agreed. Check.
Okay. Fair enough. And
I mean, she was married to Gavin Rossdale, who's
pretty darn hot.
Pretty darn sexy.
Congratulations, Blake Shelton.
I mean, what a hard life she has.
I know, right? Gavin to Blake.
Sorry about that, Gwen. Sorry about your amazing life.
Walking through the spider webs of your life, right?
I'm going to live vicariously through just everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're here for.
It is.
So, I'm also thankful for the large amount of movies that get released during the holiday season in major theaters. Have you gone to see any movies lately?
I saw Wonder this past weekend.
Me too.
My daughter was reading it in class and she went to see it. So I took her and a friend.
Wait, so our girls, they're the same age.
Fourth grade?
Okay, mine's in fifth grade.
Okay. But yes, they're the same age, I think.
Correct, yeah. And so, ours was, they read it as well. And she's been dying to see it and waiting for it to come out. And she thought it was so cool that she knew the ending and how everything worked, and I didn't. So, she would try to tease me, like, I'm just not going to tell you, like, what's going on.
It was so good.
But we did go see Wonder. It was really good. So you guys enjoyed it?
Oh, we loved it. My daughter cried a little bit. And it was funny because, not funny, haha, but... Like, she would cry in certain parts, and I got it. But then I cried in, like, completely different. Like, all the mom parts, I was like...
Absolutely. Absolutely. The parent parts.
The parent parts, right. The parent parts, I was, like, tearing up. The part she was crying out, I was like, oh, that's sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's like, that didn't touch her heart. I'm like, did the mom parts touch you?
I totally get it. My kids were the same way. Yeah. And the laughing was different at different parts, too.
It was.
Did you find that, too?
Like the parent humor versus the kid humor.
I took both my daughters to go see it. And so I've got a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old. So the 7-year-old even laughed at different places than the 10-year-old. It was just funny the things that they caught in that movie. But it's a super appropriate movie for all ages,
family movie,
and adults.
It's fantastic.
I saw many adults there without children in the theater. It's just a good story, good, meaningful. You can almost guess what happens in the story. Right. It's not like it was like some big mystery.
And it's a real person. So.
Yes, but this is. It was just really well done.
It was, and I didn't read the book.
Me neither.
But my daughter was telling me about she didn't tell me what they left out. She's like, oh, they left things out. And it was funny because I think this might actually be the first book she's read that had a movie to accompany it. Whereas I'm always like, oh, yeah, but they left some things out of the movie. But I really want to read the book now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was funny because this was my first explanation to her, was like, well, the book can go into detail and describing things. They've really got an hour and a half to 2 hours to pack everything in there. So what they do is they take the best parts, the most important parts, and they make it a movie. But I was telling her, as you read more books, they become movies. You'll notice that they're not. Some do follow it almost exactly. Sure. But it was just funny to hear. Right. It was just, I don't know. I didn't see the second one. I couldn't bring myself to it. I even stopped the book series. But it was just funny to see her. Yeah, for them to really pick up on that now. Pick up. Yeah, it was.
It's great. I think it's exciting for, my kid likes reading. And then to see that. I love movies, and I mean, I like reading too, but like seeing this movie together, we experienced it. It was really cool. She was so excited to go see it. And I'm so glad it lived up to what she enjoyed. Like absolutely. That would have been really crummy if she would have been like, meh. Right. But she's been waiting for this to come out.
And the movie was well done, I thought.
Absolutely. I love Owen Wilson. I love Julia Roberts in it. The two of them. If you would have told me outside of this that Owen and Julia Roberts are playing a married couple, I would have been like, meh, I don't really know if that
I questioned
fits.
the Owen Wilson thing, but okay.
I thought it was great.
I was completely fine with it.
He played a lot of what I see, my dad was like that growing up. I married a man that's like this growing up. They almost try to take a little bit of humor with parenting in the realm where sometimes I feel like I'm the disciplinarian, but I mean, they take that little bit of, they make the funny quirks, but they're still, there was a part in there where he was like, look, if you're going to be mad at your mom, know that I had a hand in this too.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's kind of like, wait, I'm backing up for you. But yet he would whisper to his kids, like, I'm scared of your mom.
I'm scared of your mom. Those are the parts I laughed at. And my daughter was like,
they don't get it. But I thought it was really well done.
What I loved about it, and again, because I didn't read the book, I was not aware that this was going to happen.
Yeah.
And this is not going to give anything away, but I love how the movie showed you what was happening from everyone's perspective. Because I did, afterwards seeing it, and I'd be like, well, what's happening? Because I didn't know. I didn't read the book.
And I had no idea that happened as well. And that was definitely, I completely agree with you. Because you think from the previews that this is only going to be about the little boy and the struggles that he goes through. Mm-hmm. But this movie did an amazing job of showing the struggles that everybody else goes through
with the
that
center
surrounded him. Yes, and how that affects other people. And so it's just such a good movie, not only for children to understand how to work with other children and to accept and to understand and to be kind, but for parents to see how it works. My kids, this is not a spoiler, it's just a simple fact of there is a bully in the show, or in the movie. And, my kids really picked up on the fact that this bully's parents were bullies too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I said, honey, that's what we've talked about a lot before at school because my daughter has a little boy that's always late to school. He's always late. And then when he gets there, it's kind of like he's given this extra attention in a negative way because he's late for school. They're always calling him out, Since you're late again, you've got to sit down and do this, this, and this, or you got to catch it. And so it draws this attention. Well, then he acts out, So I've kind of broken it down for my daughter and backed it up. So we're like, doesn't that make sense that, does he drive himself to school?
Right.
No, he doesn't. Does he have parents that really don't, it seems, as they come across, I don't know his parents, but does it come across that they just don't care as much as they should? So what else does he know other than to be bad? He is probably experiencing some stuff at home that none of us know about or will ever know. But that's the way this bully was. I was like, you see how parents can influence how somebody, and this bully had to almost sit there and realize like, wow, my parents are pretty crummy too.
Yeah.
And I think it really hit home. Hopefully it did, because it's the truth. I mean, bullies come from somewhere a lot of times. It's not just themselves.
I am a firm believer that yes, everyone can have empathy, but you're taught that, it's what you're seeing in your surroundings as being acceptable and being okay.
That's right.
I mean, I know how we teach my daughter in our house, and it's reflected in the type of award she brings home. I'm just as proud of her getting a trophy for being a great athlete as I am for her, probably even more proud for her winning character trait awards for kindness and respect at school.
Absolutely.
I think I show her more attention for those things and make a bigger deal out of those things because that's what matters.
And that's
no one's going to care
further in life, honestly.
No one's going to care 10, 20 years from now if you won a Little League trophy
Rec League soccer
for being the fastest person on the team. Right. No one's going to care.
Yeah.
But everyone will care how you treat them.
That's right. Absolutely. So, I highly recommend for anyone to go see this.
Go see it as a family, alone.
Definitely.
Whatever.
And then watch it again. It's my kids always, when we leave movies, they'll either tell me like we should buy that one or we shouldn't, because they just think that's their approval system. When we walked out of the movie and this one was like, we should totally get this one. Totally get this. Like it was a great feeling. On the other hand, I have seen Bad Moms.
Okay. I really want to see it. I have to find a time to go by myself.
Yeah, it's definitely not anywhere near family related.
No.
Yes. You saw the first one?
I did. Was it better than the first one? Just as good?
Not as good.
No?
In my opinion.
Okay.
Not bad by any means, but it's a totally different level. You know how it is. I mean, it's like some of this one seemed a little more extreme, like they're trying real hard.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what, for Bad Moms 2, which is the Christmas one, you know, in the first one, how it was like, it was focused on children and, you know, being
the PTA.
Yes, you're a mom of children. Okay. This one, I wish there would have been a little bit more about being a mom. This one was about being a daughter and your moms.
Okay.
I am a daughter. I get it. But it was a little super extreme, a little hyper extreme on some of the stuff that I'm kind of like, okay, see, now this would really be a stretch. You know, I mean, it's a real big stretch. For example, the guy, and I apologize, I don't know his real name, but he plays Kevin on This Is Us.
Yeah.
Okay. Good looking.
Yeah.
I mean, he basically plays a stripper in the movie, and, you know, and he asks out one of the bad moms, but then Susan Sarandon plays her mom, and like Susan Sarandon is then like rubbing him up and down while dancing on the bar, and then later, like at Christmas dinner, the guy like shows up at her house. It's really all this stuff, and I'm kind of like, the whole time he says these things that I'm like, okay, you know what? Nobody would ever say that. Nobody would ever say it. And I can't even say it on the air. Like, even if I put the little E beside our podcast listing that said explicit, I could not say some of this stuff, because at one point I found myself, I went with a group of ladies who all of our children go to school together. And we all were sitting in the theater, and like the girl beside me and I, she's actually my neighbor too, we were almost like squatting down in our seat because it was so uncomfortable to watch this one part and the things he says without like caring, you know. I mean, I know he's an actor or whatever, it's a movie, but it was like, holy cow, how do you say this and not turn beet red and or like giggle the entire time? And so it's funny. It's silly. It's funny. It definitely sticks with the theme of what they tried to do in the first movie. But I mean, the first movie was just I could picture myself in the first movie.
Oh, yeah.
As one of those moms.
Because I am a PTA mom.
Right. Because I've seen these things happen, and I've seen other moms, you know, and I've seen the Christina Applegate real life mom, right?
Yeah.
So I've known these things. But in this one, I found it a little hard to relate, because I'm kind of like, none of this would ever happen, you know, in real life. So nonetheless, it was still good.
I'll still see it.
You'll still see it. You'll still laugh. I still was in tears at one point.
I love the actresses in the movie. So.
As you should. They are really good.
I feel like I want them to be my best friends.
Yes.
And they are people that I would choose to hang out with.
Absolutely. Yes.
We'll get back to your show in a moment. Just a reminder, you're listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Find out more at themesh.tv and give us feedback on what you like. And now, as promised, back to your show.
I do have two movies that I know my kids and I are both excited about seeing, and since there's several more that I want to see because I do enjoy all films, but I will leave that to Foot Candle Films podcast, which you should check out here on The Mesh. And they do some great summaries and recommendations about movies that may not be as mainstream, but some that I'm super excited with my family to watch, because I know that's the easiest around the holidays and all our family can go. Jumanji.
Yes.
You seen the new one?
Yes.
Looks hilarious.
Oh, yeah. I saw the first one, and this one looks, I mean, it's nothing like the first one.
Completely different, which I kind of like.
Yeah, I do.
It's upgraded. I mean, they know that. They're not trying to recreate
Jumanji was
something.
fun for when we were younger watching
Absolutely.
it.
It was creepy. It was like scary good. Like, there were parts in it that, I mean, it was legitimate, like, oh, crap.
Yeah, my daughter will not watch that one, but is completely excited about seeing that
Absolutely. Also, I'm super excited about seeing The Greatest Showman. Have you seen that preview about the circus?
No.
Okay. No, you haven't seen it, or no, you're not excited?
I haven't seen.
Okay. Yeah. Hugh Jackman.
Of course.
Done. Sold.
All right, I'm going.
Hey,
when you said circus and Hugh Jackman, I'm like, I get it. Okay.
So it is, Hugh Jackman plays P.T. Barnum.
Okay.
Okay. Back in the day, basically he loses his job, has to think of something to support his family, and comes up with the idea of starting a show.
Okay.
And it becomes the greatest show on earth, which, Barnum and Bailey Circus, so forth, so on. But it's the early startup, and it's really talking about, it's very Moulin Rouge.
Okay.
Look like. They sing in it.
Again, Hugh Jackman, of course.
Done. Fine.
The only movie he doesn't sing in is Wolverine, and he might even whistle or hum in that one.
Yeah, he could, and I'd still watch it. Yeah.
Right.
But it is it's more of a, I don't know if they call it a musical or if it's more of just did they call Moulin Rouge a musical?
I don't know if it was quite a musical. I think there was a word for it, but I'm not.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Though, where they incorporate the song as storytelling, really, and it is very, it's almost a little...
It's Broadway-esque.
Exactly, very Broadway-esque. But Michelle Williams of Dawson's Creek fame and Heath Ledger fame, she plays his wife. Okay. And then he's got 2 kids. But Zac Efron is in it. Okay. And Zendaya.
Okay.
Zendaya plays like the trapeze artist. And then love interest of Zac Efron, who appears to be, I don't know really who he is in the film, but he's somebody trying to find his way, and P.T. Barnum is like helping him. And that Castle on the Hill song by Ed Sheeran.
Yes.
Okay, I love that song. Yeah. That's like the theme of the trailer. And it just gets my gut every time. I just love
anything Ed Sheeran. Absolutely.
I totally encourage you to go watch the trailer because they show things like P.T. Barnum speaking to like a dwarf, like a little man, and then to a lady who's got a beard. And he's trying to basically tell them, like, you are entertaining, but you are unique. This is why people enjoy you. Like, you're creating this show for entertainment and for fun, but it's to showcase that everybody has a place, like just because you look different or you act different or anything else, doesn't matter. Like, come showcase those talents and let people cheer you on and applaud and stuff. And I'm just like, yes.
Okay.
Yes, Hugh Jackman.
I have to watch the trailer with my daughter and see if she'll see it.
Absolutely.
If not, I may go see it by myself.
Definitely. And as soon as my kids, like at first, Charlotte leaned over my daughter and was like, I don't want to see this, because
it might be too heavy.
It looked a little heavy, but then Zendaya went flying through the
Zendaya
air.
will grab her, and Zac Efron.
And my daughter was like, oh my gosh, there's Zendaya. And then it was like, that's Zac Efron. He's from High School Musical. And you're like, okay, get it. And as we, it's coming out soon, but there's, it looks like there's dancing and some... theatric stuff to it.
My daughter enjoyed The Wizard of Oz, the greatest, the one with James Franco.
Yes.
So she might like this.
I could see how that's, you know what I'm talking about, like Moulin Rouge, not the dramatic and the story of that, but that
how they talk, sing.
Yeah, that theatrical style of it. My kids like that stuff because you throw in some singing and dancing, you're going to be.
Oh yeah, and my daughter really liked it, even when the humans turned into characters in The Great Oz.
Yes.
So if she liked that, I could see how she might.
So you should look at the preview with her, the like extended trailer version, like the theatrical one. Look at that. It looks really good. My kids are sold. They want to go see it. So I am on board. So let's get away from from the movie real quick and go into TV stuff because you had homework last time. Did you watch any of Riverdale?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I watched the whole first season.
Oh, you did?
I think I did.
Hey.
I haven't, I'm not quite caught up on the second season. I think I saw the first couple of episodes. Mm-hmm. Did I? Yes. Okay. So
overall
I'm to the point. I think I'm on like episode 2. I don't quite know what's happening with Dad yet.
Okay. Good. Overall thoughts and feel of the show.
I enjoyed it more than I thought.
Right? Me too.
I'm still... Okay, so I still don't know if I'm a Betty fan. Mm-hmm. No, is that the dark-haired one?
Veronica's dark-haired.
Okay, I'm a Betty fan. I don't know if I'm a Veronica fan.
Got it. You are a Betty fan.
I don't know if I'm getting the Betty Jughead thing.
Bughead, as they call them.
Oh, they have a name now. They have a ship name.
Bughead. A ship, yes. Bughead.
Okay.
I am a Bughead fan. And I think I've seen more than you have. I know I've seen more than you have, but I'm pretty sure that might grow on you.
Well,
maybe.
And I don't know that I'm a Veronica and Archie fan.
That I'm not.
But
it seems if you know that there is the comic books, obviously, that these are loosely based off of, there is inevitably going to be a love triangle. Because Betty and Veronica are always back and forth with Archie in the comic books.
But he was also with the girl he broke up with, like, episode 3 of season 1, the singer from Josie and the Pussycats.
Oh, yeah.
They were together a lot longer in the comics.
But you know who else was in the comics that is in the same plane, if you will, of Archie comics? It was Archie comics, and then there was Josie and the Pussycats, which then crossed over into that. You know who else did? And I'm waiting to see if it even plays into it or not, is Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that was all, well before Melissa Joan Hart. But
oh, not that one.
Not that one. Okay. But yes, that crossover is there in that plane. So I don't know if that's going to be something that happens later on or not. But they all did in the comic books crossover.
Yeah. Well, I think what sold me on it is I do like the characters.
Yeah.
But I'm loving the mystery of it because I was very pleased that I did not figure out the first one.
Absolutely.
I didn't see it coming.
Of who killed Jason Blossom.
Yeah, maybe until like the last episode.
Yeah.
Where you started thinking, maybe could it? No.
Right. Surely not.
But maybe.
And then it did.
Yeah. And so I was like, that's what I was pleased about. Because I kept going back and forth like, oh, it's definitely, oh, well, then maybe.
No. Right.
And then trying to figure out how it all plays into each other.
Yes.
That's what I enjoyed about the first one and why I'm still watching the second one.
Right. Because so in the first season, it's all about who killed Jason Blossom.
Yes.
Okay, Cheryl's brother.
Yes. I'm not a big fan of hers either.
Or
her mom.
I'm a little torn on her, okay? So, yeah, her mom's a nut job, but first season, all about who killed Jason Blossom. Second season is all about who's the Black Hood, okay? So the Black Hood.
How the season one ended?
Right,
yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And the entire second season is all about that. I mean, essentially, they don't talk about Jason Blossom ever again.
Okay, good. We're done with Jason.
Right. But I've heard people criticize that because they're like, oh, that's just so extreme. Like, forget Jason Blossom. That's done now or whatever.
He'll come up again when the baby's born, right?
Absolutely. Okay. Yes. And so
he's got to.
I would imagine. Right. But the second one, definitely got.
By the way, oh my God. With the relationship? What?
The whole thing is crazy.
This is why I was pulled in. I was like, okay, ew.
Yeah.
But
what? Yeah.
That is crazy.
The whole town is probably related somehow.
So with Archie's mom, let's just move.
Yeah.
Let's just go back to Chicago. And why, Veronica, are you back? Did your mom bring you back to this place?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't know. There's a lot of things that they hint on one time and then they don't bring up again. And I'm feeling like it's because they're just saving that for when they need more stuff later they're going to tag on. Mm-hmm. Like such as Veronica's mom history with Archie's dad. There's obviously something there because that was a thing. But they don't really talk about it anymore now. Okay, now that Veronica's dad's back out of jail.
Mark Consuelos.
Yes, Mark Consuelos. And then
he should be sexiest man alive.
See, I might have been. I don't know. But if he hasn't been over Blake Shelton, then we need to have a talk. So anyway, it was just, there's a lot of stuff. I highly encourage if someone has not watched Riverdale to just get into it.
It's a little teenagerish at first.
A little bit. That's why I was slow going to get into it. But like you said,
if you like a good mystery, it was well done.
It's pretty dark.
Yeah.
There's some dark stuff.
As well as you can do a mystery for a TV show.
Correct.
Well done.
Yes.
Because there's a few mysteries where you're like, okay, first 30 minutes, you're like, I got it. Let's just wrap it up. Mm-hmm. But no, completely did not see this coming.
And same with this second season. I'm caught up with it right now as it's happening live or whatever.
In real time.
In real time, if you will. I'm caught up with it, but I do not know.
Oh, you still don't know?
No, I have no idea. And I did hear that it's not going to be like drawn out for 22 episodes. Okay. You don't know who it is. It's like a halfway midpoint or something. So I don't know Which is good. Don't make us all be ticked off.
Don't make that every
Yes,
season. Like,
yes.
okay, we're going to find the mystery out at the end.
Correct. Yeah. But as of right now, like, I honestly cannot tell you who I even think the person is that they're looking for right now. It's just interesting to me. Because like you said, I mean, that's why I keep watching. I'm kind of like, well, I got to find out, But Jughead's definitely my favorite in the whole bunch of them because there's just, I think there's just a little more to him. I like him.
Yeah.
I'm not an Archie fan. I think Archie is like, he's trying a little too hard. Yeah. I think Archie he's Australian actually. And so,
is he?
Yeah, he's Australian. His name is KJ in real life, which I think is like lame anyway. But and he's definitely not a redhead. So anyway.
All right.
Another one, go check that out. I am saving Stranger Things 2
have not seen it yet.
That's my Thanksgiving binge is
Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Loved the first one.
Yeah.
I'm hearing good things about the second one, but I'm trying to kind of keep it closed off because I don't want to be told anything. Right. So, but I just love those kids. I mean, how can you not love the kids from Stranger Things? They're fabulous and brilliant on how they're doing their job. So I am saving that for it. I have, however, found time to really bombard myself with Elizabeth Smart stuff on television. Yeah. Holy cow, have you seen all the stuff about her? Because she's now kind of finally coming out and telling this full story.
I saw, I think the first full episode, most of the second.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm telling you. So this was, for those of you not familiar with this, if you're maybe not even from around this area, but in 2002, Elizabeth Smart was kidnapped out of her home in Salt Lake City while her sister watched in fear. And she was held captive for 9 months and raped every day. She was kept on a chain, essentially, in their camp. They lived... her two captors had these extreme religious beliefs that they believed they were certain people, They actually went into town, made her wear a face covering. She was spotted by police several times, but made to lie. And, it was very intense. One of these situations where it was, after a few months, everybody kind of thought the worst of this. But,
she
really,
was
she was
in plain sight.
Right there. Right, exactly. Hidden in plain sight. Perfect description. But now she was 14 years old when that happened.
Yeah.
That was younger than I was, obviously, in 2002, but I think it still just kind of related a lot more, hit home. I understood it. There was obviously other incidents that have happened way too many times in our lifetime. However, this one was so real to me.
The boogeyman came.
Yeah, this was so real to me.
It was actually when I had my daughter. Yeah. It was one of the things I thought about in her room.
Absolutely.
Checking to make sure she was secure and making sure I could hear her and that I was close enough. And me waking up in the middle of the night just to check to make sure she was still there. Yeah. And
there were all these things too.
And it was because
the
I
family,
heard about that.
Yeah, the family was very vocal on television and stuff then as well. Yeah. So I mean, when you and I were hearing all this story, like I was hearing that the parents, were doing the normal thing that parents have done all the time. Everybody's in bed. Like, what do you do?
Her sister's in there with her.
Her sister's scared to death that she's going to be, and she even says in this retelling now, they have the television series as well as like a dramatic interpretation, if you will, of it. But Elizabeth Smart actually speaks to the camera and says like, no, this is what was happening. Here's this. And then she has her family members who are telling the same stuff at the same time. And her sister, who was there, was basically like, everybody's like, how come you didn't scream and wake everybody up?
And she was 9 at the time.
Yeah,
right?
she's like, this man had a knife
to my sister's throat.
Yeah, she's like, I thought the first thing is that if he sees me, then either she's gonna die, I'm gonna die, or whatever. She's like, but also I'm the only one that could help.
So I missed that part. Did he not see her sister?
No, they thought she was asleep. That's why so he saw that she was in there, but that's why he was tiptoeing and whispering and everything else. But the sister was awake watching it. And she got up and started to leave. Like after he took Elizabeth, she got up and was getting ready to go into her parents' room and basically say somebody's there or whatever. But she saw him coming back towards the room. And so she ran and jumped in a closet and stayed in there for like 3 hours.
Oh my gosh, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, so she stayed in this closet for hours and then got up and went and got her parents after she felt like sure that he was gone. But she was just, I mean, that's real deal stuff, you know? I mean, that was incredible to think, you know, that's obviously crazy. She went through, I'm sure, some very traumatic stuff thinking, oh my gosh, I'll just let my sister get kidnapped. But it wasn't like that. I mean, like you said, 9. She was 9 years old.
You don't know what to do. You haven't lived through that.
You haven't lived through any of this.
You don't have family planning meetings about what to do if someone comes and kidnaps your sibling.
Scream or don't, or pretend like you're this. You know, I mean, that's just,
and you know,
horrible.
I think the whole thing about that is that was several years after the John Benet Ramsey. So everyone thought the worst. And of course, I mean, yes, you have to investigate the family first.
Yes.
But as we go along in the telling of this and you find out how he found this family or how he became aware of this family.
Yeah.
We were talking about being kind and charitable before, and that's exactly what this family did. They saw someone, they taught their children to help others. So it was actually their son who encouraged them to help this person, and we need help on the house, so come and help, and unknowingly exposed their family to this crazy person. Madman. I mean, this, and you know, what do you do in that case? It makes it hard. You're on the hand of, you know, and again, it'll go back to Wonder Woman. I'll choose on the right to be right or kind, choose kind. But at the same time, by choosing that, I don't want to expose my kid to something unkind.
It's such a double-edged sword. We say
it's
it with
unfortunately
a lot of
the world we live in. You cannot. Everyone always wants to do the right thing and be kind, but then you have to second guess yourself, saying, "I don't know this person."
Yeah,
I mean,
it's. And in the long run, basically about 3 or 4 months, I think they said, after she had been kidnapped, the sister that was in the room with her, there were 6 children, and this was just one of them, has like a dream one night and wakes up and says, I know that voice. It was Emmanuel. And that's what he called himself. And that's really what helped pinpoint some stuff. But it took that long for her to register. She said she told them in the very first day that Elizabeth was kidnapped, I feel like I knew the voice. You know, like, I just don't know who it was. It feels like I knew it. So they assumed it was somebody that the family knew. They went to all these family contacts and people and stuff, you know. And I mean, their friends, their family, their other employees and stuff were all put in questioning. But she kept saying, no, I knew this voice from somewhere. And it ended up being the person that she thought it was, which really helped signal, you know, tune that in. But at that point, I mean, that's months after they're gone. They were living in the desert. They were living out in the middle. I mean, this thing goes into showing how basically she was starved, and because it was so hard to come by food, you know, he left one day, left her chained up with the other lady, and they were so starved and thirsty that they were like delusional almost. And he came back after being gone like 7 days, and he was like, oh, well, I got thrown in jail for a few days for panhandling and stuff, you know. So, I mean, he was just like, whatever. I found some food in a dumpster. Here you go. You know, and it was just, again, like I said, raped every night, you know, for 9 months. And she was 14 years old. And
cared enough more about her family to where she even heard her uncle calling her name
in the woods
the first few days after she had been kidnapped, and didn't say anything. Didn't yell out.
He
because
told
she
her
thought
that the family would be killed if she ran.
So at 14, my goodness.
Yeah. It's the stuff, just watching this story.
The stuff that she was willing to endure for the sake of the rest of her family.
Yeah.
And she really thought, I'm one person.
Mm-hmm. And she did these things where it was like they would go out on a hike to go get water, and she would still be chained up to him. You know, he'd have a key and everything, and she's having to lug all this water for them. And she said, you know, I read mystery books whenever I was younger. And she's like, and I loved them. And I knew that people can trace tracks. So she would try to stomp really hard, like wherever she was, and leave a track of her foot, you know, and different things like that. You know, I mean, she's thinking of this stuff the whole time. And it's just, it blows my mind, you know. And, but super interesting story. And obviously, you know, she had to endure this all these years and go through the trial and all that stuff. But now she is married and has children and everything. But it's just been really like, holy cow, I can't believe some of this stuff. And I read an article that said she watched the story by herself, like the finished version of it, which has been on Lifetime mainly. A lot of the stuff's been on Lifetime, but She watched the final version, said that she thought it was appropriate, like it was done, rightly so, and that she'll never watch it again. Yeah, that was it.
It's probably therapeutic for her to just get it out.
Get it out and then be done. Like, that's it. I don't need to see it.
We don't need to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, because apparently they did the right job. So if you're watching it, know that she thought it was so accurate that she won't do this again, which is scary to me because it's scary to watch that somebody people actually do this stuff. Anyway, moving on. I'm thankful for television, my holiday television, obviously, as we're going through it. Today is a very special day in the world of royalty, which we know we enjoy. I mean, people listening should obviously
and I'm
know
not aware of what this is.
Today, the day of we're recording this, November 20th, is the 70th wedding anniversary of the Queen and Philip.
Oh, what a love story.
70 years.
It's a long time.
You should totally look up the picture that they released in honor of their anniversary.
Oh.
There's two of them. There's one where they're standing and looking at the camera and smiling, and another one where they're looking at each other, and it's adorable.
Really?
Yes.
I love that.
Oh my gosh. It's
okay,
adorable.
yes, I'll find it.
Look those up. But today is the actual day. And so, I mean, 70 years, that's incredible for anybody, right?
Kudos. Happy anniversary.
I couldn't believe it when I saw that. But the picture's great. So, props to you for making it that long and in that type of world and relationship. Do you ever watch The Queen? Have you watched The Queen on Netflix?
I watched like the first couple episodes. I haven't finished it.
The Queen is getting ready to come back out for the next season on Netflix, and I cannot wait because this is the last season that she will be portrayed by the same actress, and then after that it gets she gets bumped into the older actress. Yes, but it's so well done, and the man that plays Philip, I mean, it's just really eye-opening as to their relationship and how it's so unique. You know, I mean, they knew they were going into this royal courtship and everything else, and he knew what he was getting into, but I mean, he genuinely and truly loves her and adores her, and she loves him and adores him, and it's not the arranged stuff that people would have thought of, and you think it's just very different and unique, but still it is really good. So if you get a chance, watch The Queen.
Okay.
In honor of their anniversary. All right, so I heard what Meghan Markle or whatever her name is, their Thanksgiving plans are, which I think is humorous that they even have to...
That he's celebrating Thanksgiving with his American...
Nope, he's not. She's flying home to California.
Oh, is she? Okay.
Yep, she's flying home to California to be there, and I was giggling the entire time that I'm reading this article because I'm like, why are we reporting what she's doing for Thanksgiving?
Because it might be her last one.
He's not celebrating, so it's not like...
So what do they do when they get married? Because we're not doing the ifs anymore. I'm putting it out in the universe.
I know. I'm pretty sure they're going to get
when
married.
They get married, will she still be allowed to celebrate Thanksgiving?
You know, I don't know how that works.
How do you work that out?
Okay.
Like, she's an American.
I studied abroad when I was in college, okay? And I was in 40 miles north of London, okay? So I was... right at the center of where he's living and stuff, right?
Yes.
And we, of course, being an American school, celebrated a Thanksgiving over there in our own little way in this school.
Yeah.
And we had Mita families, and these families came over to celebrate Thanksgiving with us because I guess they knew the importance of it to us.
Okay.
It was not a great Thanksgiving meal because they're not exactly
don't know what to do.
Sure what to do with it, but they understood the concept. So I'm thinking, and there were people over there in the towns and stuff that knew, like, it is Thanksgiving, but they don't do anything about it. You know, I mean, it's not like they're like Black Friday sales and stuff and things happening afterwards. I bet that that's going to be like a quirky thing that's neat for them that they think is like...
They'll make her a turkey on Thanksgiving.
Right, exactly. Yeah. That they'll be like, you know, like, Meghan is celebrating today and having family come over to London to celebrate Thanksgiving. and Harry is, you know, carving a turkey today, you know, in honor of her Thanksgiving. You know, and make it very like...
Yeah.
We're trying to accept Meghan for this and we that. So... From what I hear, she's trying to, once this season of Suits wraps up, because she's done, right? Is Suits done or is she done?
She's done. And I hear the guy that she's engaged to or married to on the show is leaving as well.
Oh, okay.
So they'll probably just have them.
Yeah.
That's what I hear. I don't really regularly watch the show. I watched it several seasons ago.
Yeah, I've not seen it, so I didn't know if the show was done or
the show's
she was
not done. I think she's just done.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, she's wrapping up suits, and then
she's got a wedding to
she's
plan.
moving over there.
Yeah, we'll have the royal baby, and then we'll have the royal wedding. So I'm thankful for my royal weddings and babies. The end.
Exactly. The end.
My baby Diana, because I'm still waiting for my baby Diana.
Yeah, there's gonna be.
And if it doesn't happen with William and Kate, I'm still holding out hope for Harry and Meghan. I feel like
and maybe
she would be the one to have baby Diana.
Maybe because now baby Charlotte
has a name.
A name in there, right?
Yeah.
However, William gave Kate Diana's ring.
Yes.
Right.
Which was Harry's ring.
Exactly. And Harry gave it to Will to say, give this because you're obviously going through this first and you're blah, blah, blah. So I'm wondering, what's going to be the kind of gesture almost? Because Harry's kind of given over the ring. They put Diana as a middle name. I know it's not the first name, but they did use it in one place. So what's Harry going to get out of this? Is there going to be obviously they can use Diana as a first name, to go by. The ring it's not like it's going to get passed around.
Or if it's a boy, I bet they'll name him Spencer.
Oh, I do like that.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of wondering, what gesture is going to be made. She
has that one iconic photo with the tiara.
Yes.
Maybe
she
has to wear that for the wedding. Maybe it doesn't be given to her, but I don't know. It's hard to do something like that because Diana's so iconic and people are like, do not touch.
Don't touch that.
I get the ring. That's an heirloom that most families would hand down.
Let's do that anyway. Right. People do that whether you're royalty or not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Will's going to do something. I hope he does.
Some type of gesture for Harry and the lady he has chosen.
Yes. I hope there's something.
Yeah.
Just because these two boys, and their mom had that such a image of everything.
Think about everything. You can see the influence of Diana and her sons and even the mates they have chosen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Both of them marrying commoners.
Yeah.
Yes, Kate's from a well-to-do family, but she's not royal.
Right. Which is all they really care about.
Which is all they really care about. And before that, the only ones who had married commoners were people who weren't directly in line for the throne. Edward, I think, married a journalist or something. Harry's marrying a divorcee who is biracial.
Yeah.
Completely, off what anybody would have expected. He went from Chelsea Davy to Cressida Bonham, or whatever her name is, Bonnet something.
Yeah.
And now you've got Meghan Markle, an American biracial, actress.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting. I get it. I think if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Harry. It's going to be take that. Look what look who I'm marrying,
and doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's like,
but I do think that he's proven that there's still that. Obviously, he can't deny he's royal. We get that, but I think there's still that connection of pride to his mother, and
we won't get sucked into the royal family and traditions, and we'll forge our own path. Yes,
and I do think there's going to be
have respect for their line. Yes, they'll have respect for their place,
which I'm all for.
They'll forge their own path towards that.
I'm all for. I think William and Kate have done that, and he's gonna be king. You know what I'm saying? He has to even follow it a little bit more than Harry does. Yeah. But I do think they've stayed. He's kept a job. Yeah. He's not just sitting around being royal. He's got a job.
Yeah.
And they send their kid to preschool and different stuff. I think that's neat. So we'll stay tuned. I feel like after the holidays we might hear something.
I don't know what he'll do. And at this point, he may have done something privately.
That's what I've heard too. Whatever. Make a big deal out of it. Come on, Harry.
Yeah.
We'll see. I have some really fun this or that's for us because I'm thankful for you.
Oh, thank you. I am thankful for you too and our friendship.
Absolutely. What a unique little friendship we have. We get to talk out our feelings on microphones. We might not see each other for a whole month, but when it comes showtime, here we are. I have some of these are holiday themed. Some are absolutely not, but it's what I could come up with. Okay. So, ready?
Yes.
Mashed potatoes or sweet potatoes?
Mashed potatoes.
Me too. I can't stand sweet potatoes.
I make them just because everybody wants them.
Really? I don't make them because I ain't gonna eat it. Nope. Pumpkin pie or apple pie?
Neither. Pumpkin?
Really?
Yeah.
Why neither? You don't like either one?
I don't, not really like
I don't like pumpkin
pie.
jack. I don't like pumpkin anything.
Like cheesecake. Is that considered a pie?
Maybe. I like pecan pie.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. So
Say
I guess
pecan or pecan?
I don't know. It depends on where you're from, I guess.
I know, me too. I say it both ways. I feel like sometimes I say pecan
I
pie.
think it's pecan.
And then I'll say pecan pie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I'd love to hear what other people say it. If people say it in certain areas.
Pecan.
Like pecan pie.
Pecan
Pie. Or pecan or pecan.
Pecan. I don't know.
Yeah, pecan.
That one with the nuts.
It's one where you put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable, right?
Apple, yes.
Okay, so I would definitely pick apple pie over that because I don't do pumpkin anything. I don't like pumpkin at all. Books or iPad?
Books.
I'm an iPad. Skydiving or bungee jumping?
Oh, gosh, that is a complete neither.
Yeah?
But if I'm going to do something, I guess I'd rather have a cord attached to me and spring up. So bungee jumping, if I was forced to do one or the other.
Right. I kind of think skydiving, but I'm not really sure. Boxers or briefs?
Boxers.
Yeah. Amen. A moose or a hedgehog?
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Why is that like a thing?
I don't know.
A moose? Hedgehogs are weird.
But they're super cute. They're really
They
cute.
are.
I'm gonna go moose as well, just because I think it's I don't know. It's good in decorating too. Like whenever they have the moose outlines and like in the mountain cabins,
Yeah.
and, you know what I'm talking about? I like those. Fireplace or bonfire?
Ooh. I'll go with fireplace.
I know.
I love
it's
a good bonfire.
I love a good bonfire though. Yeah, because I like being outside and with that, but it is a little bit more work.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of work. And you're like, is it going to ever burn out?
I know. Yeah. And then it's like, am I following in the burn rules properly? Right.
Right.
Ham or turkey?
Ham.
Turkey for me all day long. Coffee or hot chocolate?
Hot chocolate.
I'm coffee. Angel or star?
Angel? Star? They're both pretty. Star.
What's the top of your tree? Typically.
One year it was an angel because my daughter wanted it, but usually a star. Or no, actually it's a bow.
Okay.
Yeah, we do a bow.
Okay, a bow. Does it have
I think we had
come down from it and decorate, or just a big old bow?
Just a big old bowl, but I think last year we did a star. My daughter wanted a star. It's whatever my daughter wants.
Okay.
The tree
We're a
decorating
star.
kind of her
I've got a
thing.
really pretty star that I like
Yeah.
to use, but who knows how long that'll last. Real tree or fake tree?
Real.
I would love the idea of a real tree, but I do have a fake tree.
I've had a fake tree. When do
you put yours up?
We'll probably put
New
it up
Year's?
again when my daughter decides she wants to go get a tree, or when we have time to actually go get a tree.
Go out and get it. Yeah.
It'll be before Christmas.
Good thing. Good thing.
Yeah, it'll be at least a day before Christmas.
Okay, good.
No, we'll try to have it up soon.
Yeah, we try to do the weekend after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Which is
This would be a good weekend because we have nothing going on, and we do
Exactly.
next weekend. So maybe this weekend.
Goals. Let's both set goals to put up Christmas decorations
Done.
this weekend.
Done.
Okay. I will send your daughter a note and be like, make this happen.
Make your mommy go buy you a tree.
Yes. White lights or color lights?
I like the white lights. Daughter loves the colored lights.
Really?
But I don't mind them. They're
Yeah.
fine. Again, the tree is all hers. We
Yeah,
tell her
yeah.
every year, it's your thing. However you want it decorated.
Okay.
I'm not one of those people who I have these special ornaments.
I mean,
and
neither.
they're this color. It's a hodgepodge. It's a hot mess on that tree, and it's beautiful.
Same here. Absolutely. We use a lot of our old ornaments, like,
Yeah.
ones that the girls have brought home from school, and
Her
my
first
parents have
ornament's
passed
still on
down.
there. Yeah.
Mhm. My mom sort of handed me some ornaments that were sort of quote unquote mine when I was little. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Put it on our tree now. I mean, our ornaments are all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
But I love it.
There's sports
I love
related
it.
one.
Absolutely. There's silly looking
There's
ones.
silly ones. There's ones that she's made.
There's like really expensive looking ones,
Yeah.
like
And I
gifts
love
that have
it.
been
I wouldn't
given.
have it any other way.
Me neither. I'm not down with other people's trees are
yeah, they're beautiful.
They're gorgeous. Not for me.
Yeah.
I love this cinnamon.
I love the messiness and the
Yes.
complete chaos of my tree. I think it's the most
hear
beautiful
ya.
thing ever.
Agreed. Eggnog or cider?
Oh, cider.
Me too. I don't know the appeal.
I don't
behind
get the
eggnog.
I mean, I get it if I'm at a party and it's been spiked. Sure. Give me a cup. But I'm going one, and then I'm straight back to the cider.
My husband buys the paper carton of it.
Oh, my mom does too.
And keeps it in the fridge throughout the holiday season. I'm like, bleh.
Yeah, when my mom comes for the holidays, I have to have it.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't like that at all. And that's all I have. That's all I have for today. Yes.
Yay.
But, going back and forth between holiday stuff and whether you like boxers or briefs,
or
where are you
moose
not,
or a hedgehog.
Or moose or a hedgehog. Where are you not going to get that on ChickChat, right? So that's why we are unique and special. And we are thankful for everyone that's listening out there. We are thankful for you. We are thankful for the Mesh for hosting us and giving us a platform to just talk about stuff that we enjoy.
Nobody else cares
Nobody cares about, but we do.
And we know you do too.
Yes. So thank you so much for listening. We hope you and yours enjoy the holiday weekend if you are celebrating. If not, we hope you have a great week as it is. But we're sticking with our theme of staying on track. We'll be back at you in December, excuse me. This is our November. We'll have a December one. Probably have to do a little early because we don't want to get into the holiday time there. Right. And so I'm sure then we'll be talking about some more baby stuff. We didn't really touch on Kardashian pregnancies right now.
Give it a week or two. There may be more.
Maybe they're pregnant. I kind of feel like they're still avoiding the question, but we're bound to know more soon. Yeah. So lots to come in the future. But again, thank you so much for listening to ChickChat here on themesh.tv. We ask you to please go and check out the rest of our shows on The Mesh and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at themesh.tv. You can call us at 828-619-0048 and leave a message that we can answer questions or follow up with you online. And you can email us at info@themesh.tv. We would love to hear some feedback. I'd love to hear about your Christmas decorations coming up, what you believe. Do you say Pe-kahn or Pe-kahn? Have you watched Riverdale? What movies are you looking forward to in the holiday season? And, of course, what else you are thankful for. So, again, take care. We'll catch you on the flip side.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.